let me introduce our next speaker, Gineesh. He works at Red Hat as a platform consultant, platform and DevOps consultant. He has 15 years of experience in IT service management and consultancy with experience in planning, deploying, and supporting Linux-based projects. We are really lucky to have him here with us today.
Okay, hope you can see my screen as well.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Humble, Robin, and the entire Kubernetes Kerala community team for giving me the opportunity. So this one, we have a very small topic for today. You were talking about the observability and all this advanced cluster management, but we will be going through some of the very basic Kubernetes stuff, something like what are the differences, why we have this confusion between Kubernetes, OKD, and all. Okay, let me go to the same. Okay, so we have a small agenda for today. So yeah, we have to discuss the transition from Kubernetes to OKD to the OpenShift. So we just want to understand what are the differences between them, what to use, when, and where, right? And also we will just see what is there is no best or there is no bad thing. So we just want to compare, or we just want to understand what is what. So my name is Gineesh. I mostly focus on Ansible and Kubernetes stuff. And yeah, this is the beginning. So why we are talking about containers? We are talking about the cluster management and all. We just want to understand why we are using containers in the first place, because we know we have so many options. Like we were using virtual machines, we were using some other kind of virtualizations. Now we are using containers, right? Why we are using containers? First thing is the efficiency, right? We can utilize the resources in the right way instead of using the entire bare metal or even the entire virtual machine. This is more efficient. Then we have like the faster setup. VM will take almost 1 minute, for example, but containers, you can spin up the containers in seconds. Then the best thing is portability. We know you can run the same container image here on platform A, platform B, or platform C. It doesn't matter. So you get the same result. Of course, we can avoid the hypervisor overhead, and yeah, these are the main advantages. Now, we started talking about the Kubernetes because we are running single container images, single containers to run our application. We were talking about small bundles, like we have this Docker, compose files, and run application. Then we realized, okay, we need something bigger. We want to manage this in large scale. So that's how we have this project called Kubernetes. It's purely an open source container orchestration platform. We know, you already know that for a long time. Why we are using Kubernetes? Because we know the best part of it. Like we can scale it automatically. We can scale the pods. We can even scale the nodes now. Then we have the self-healing. Like let's say the application is stopped or application is not working. Kubernetes, the controllers know, okay, should I restart it or should I recreate the pod? They know that. Then the best part is a declarative configuration where you can write everything in a YAML configuration and keep it. So you don't need to you don't need to worry about the application and their set. You have the image, you have the configuration declaration, you can use it to deploy your application. Now, another important thing is high availability. We know the best part. We don't need to worry about load balancers anymore. You don't need to worry about the traffic, or we don't need to worry about the speed. So the HA is already there. So we know this kind of features available in the Kubernetes platform. But when we have this Kubernetes, we know this Kubernetes, you can spin up a Kubernetes lab with 1 or 2 or 3 nodes. It's very simple. It's not that difficult. But how we are going to manage this for an enterprise level, right? Because we are talking about large-scale deployments. We are talking about multiple teams and application, because when we have multiple teams, we need to know what are the best way to restrict the access, what are the best ways to track their activities, who started this container, who started this project. We need to know, right? We need to know the resource management. Then we have some other concepts like developer productivity tools, like developers should be able to use the platform without worrying about the underlying infra or underlying softwares. Then we have this security concern, then the networking concern, how the applications can talk each other, or applications can talk from one cluster to the another cluster. And we need more tools which are not available in Kubernetes. For example, we need more automation, we need monitoring. This is already available. I'm talking about the native way. So we are looking for all these features or all these specialities when we look Kubernetes for the enterprises, right? Now, let's talk about OKD. So what is OKD? So OKD is very simple. So OKD is a community-driven Kubernetes distribution. It's a community project. It's a set of software packages and all compiled or we can say all configured to run the Kubernetes. So it's the same Kubernetes, but we have some additional stuff. Actually, OKD is adding more features to the Kubernetes platform. We can say in that very simple way, because it extends the Kubernetes with all those additional features, including the developer-friendly tools, then the operation-friendly tool, then the advanced management capabilities. So with OKD, the developers can create, scan, test, or deploy their application on cloud. And remember, we have this supported language already. We can use Go, we can use Node.js, we can use Ruby, we can use Python, PHP. Yeah, the list is there. So that's a good thing. So OKD is the community one. Remember, this is like a you know any other products. We have community project, and we have this open source products. Now, remember about this because it's community. It's upstream first. So OKD is running with some faster development cycle. So usually you get the latest releases or latest features in the OKD before you get it in the OpenShift. Okay, we'll talk about OpenShift later. Then we have this open source nature, right? And because it's purely open source and it's purely you are getting the support from community, there is no enterprise support. So OKD is the enterprise Kubernetes, but there is a lack of support, right? And remember, OKD is the upstream project for Red Hat OpenShift. So if you're familiar with the OpenShift origin name, remember that the OpenShift origin is the old name for OKD. It was renamed to OKD few years ago. So you can see the dashboard here. It's a similar dashboard. I mean, you can see if you're familiar with the OpenShift, you know OKD is the similar dashboard. It's the same software, but yeah, it's a community first or community project. It's not a product yet. Okay. Now we have this kind of a open source product called Red Hat OpenShift. So it's the same Kubernetes-based platform, but there are some differences. So it's the first thing is enterprise-grade features. So we have comprehensive developer tools already available. Already, when you install the OpenShift, you get it. You don't need to deploy it again. The CI/CD pipeline integration is already there. We have built-in monitoring. Okay, so it's already available in OpenShift. So OpenShift also have this powerful dashboard. It's more, I will say, powerful than the Kubernetes dashboard, and we have many other features. So we see that, right? That we have the Kubernetes and we have this enterprise Kubernetes platform, which is the OKD one. Then we have the open source enterprise product called OpenShift. Okay. So why? Because OpenShift for enterprises, because we know the requirements enterprise is looking for. So enterprise is looking for the advanced features, like when you install the product. Okay, I need these CI/CD pipelines. I need the GitOps. I need the log management. I need the observability. Everything is already there in OpenShift. That's a good thing. So even let's say I am installing OKD already, it's there already. The difference I will tell later. So we have these components already part of our OpenShift installation. Okay. If you are confused with, there are many products available. Don't compare. We are not talking about the products here. We are talking about the different Kubernetes distributions available. Now, the main part, right? Why we need to worry about why we should not worry about the differences or comparisons. So we have Kubernetes, then we have OKD, and we have OpenShift. Um, Basically, we should compare or we just use it wisely. We have to think about that because all the foundation is same. It's Kubernetes. Okay, the same image you can run from Kubernetes, you can run on OKD, and you can run on OpenShift. This is the same Kubernetes based platform. Then we have advanced features. Then we have advanced scalability. Then we have some kind of different features available for different products. So Kubernetes is very simple. You just install Kubernetes. You can just deploy this and start working on that one. When you need the monitoring, when you need other components, then you have to deploy other kind of a packages inside, or okay, kind of other tools inside. So we have to assess this, like what is our requirement, what is our use case here, how easy to manage the platform, and of course the money will be there because we need to worry about the budget as well. Just think the OKD and OpenShift is of course different from vanilla Kubernetes because vanilla Kubernetes is a kind of a project, and OKD and OpenShift are like enterprise distribution already, which means it's coming with several tools and other features. So when we compare, we can simply compare is a project and product. So you can see the engine. So consider, just assume, okay, it's not the exact one. Just assume Kubernetes is an engine. So we have this engine ready, but we need other parts like we need the kind of a door, we need that body, we need the tire and all. So I can just compare as a OpenShift or okay, it's kind of a product. It's ready to use. Okay, because on the right side we can see we have the infrastructure layer, then we have the Kubernetes. But on top of the Kubernetes, when we talk about OKD, we have these cluster services. Then we have these platform services, including serverless application services, and of course, developer productivity tools. If we talk about the platform cloud agnostic thing, then yeah, Kubernetes, of course, available as vanilla Kubernetes. We call it just Kubernetes. Then you have managed services. So you can see we have Google Kubernetes Engine or GKE. Then we have AKE, AKS, and also other IBM Cloud Kubernetes service, several things. It's all managed services. But there are some differences. Remember that because GKE features will not be same as the AKE or AKS features because it's managed by the vendor, the cloud vendor. Now we talk about the OpenShift. We have normally the Red Hat OpenShift, or you can use OKD, no harm. Then we have these managed OpenShift services, which can run on different well-known cloud platforms. Like we can use Azure Red Hat OpenShift or ARO. Then we have Red Hat OpenShift on AWS ROSA. Then we have several other managed services. The difference is when you deploy OpenShift, we are getting the same OpenShift platform without any change because you are deploying it can be on Azure, it can be on GCP, or it can be on AWS, but the product you are getting is same. Okay, so yeah, there is no much worry about this one, but yeah, remember if you are going for Kubernetes, you know what are the options available. When you go for OKD or OpenShift, you know what are the options available. Okay, now Kubernetes it may not be the right one, but still I can call it like a CAS or container as a service. So we can run containers because there are no built-in CI/CD tools available. We can use your own CI/CD tools. There are no containers registry by default, but you can, by default I'm telling. But you can install, then you can create your external registries or private registries for that one. When you talk about OpenShift, it's more like a PAS. As a developer, I don't need to worry about all these tools because it's already available. So I can just deploy my application as a container image, and yeah, it will work, including the final URL. So I can get the route to my application as soon as I reply, as soon as I deploy the application. Because the CI/CD or OpenShift pipeline is there, then we have the internal registry to keep the images. Then we have some good feature called image stream available in OpenShift. Then there are other features like build tools, which will take care of this application building, storing those images and all. In terms of workflow automation, yes, Kubernetes, yeah, I can say we don't have a built-in tools. We have to install and use some other manual tools available. But in OpenShift, there are many tools already available. It's part of the OpenShift or OKD. So we have the automated and integrated source to image or S2I feature available, which will take care of the container image management. Then the pipeline is already there. Image building is already there. Internal registry already there. For the development environment, right? For example, okay, we are going with a Kubernetes. So of course we have a nice option available, which is called a Minikube. It's a development Kubernetes cluster which we can use for our development environment. So you can test our application. You can do all those testing in our local workstation or a small work environment. The same or similar setup is available for OpenShift or OKD. We have these Red Hat Quarterly containers or Red Hat Local, OpenShift Local available. Also, we have some other public labs available like a developer sandbox. Of course, we have similar setup available for Kubernetes. I will give you that link. It's a Kubernetes playground if you are not aware. So developer sandbox is something like hosted OpenShift cluster, which we can access. We don't need to worry about our resource because it's already hosted by Red Hat, and just create an account, you can access the OpenShift cluster. There is a limit on the resource part like the memory and CPU, but it's more than enough to test OpenShift. So yeah, we have these two options available for development environment. Now, we were talking about this OpenShift, OKD, Kubernetes, all mixed up, right? But we know the difference between the main difference between the Kubernetes, the project, and OKD or OpenShift as a Kubernetes distribution, enterprise Kubernetes distribution. When we talk about OKD and OpenShift, it's not that big. It's a very simple one. So you know, any other products like any other open source projects work like there are project, anyone can access, anyone can use it. And there will be enterprise products. It's already coming with the best tested features, best tested functionalities, and also coming with the enterprise support. So in basically we can say it's a community support versus enterprise support because we are talking about enterprise here, right? Because OpenShift meets the enterprise software requirements, including the security response team. Then we have a long-term support options. Then it's already coming with the validated third-party operators. So for Kubernetes, of course, we know about Operator Hub, where we have these community operators available, also vendor operators. But most of the time we have this concern, how can I trust a community contributed operator? So enterprises will look for a supported or tested, or we call it certified operator. So that's where OpenShift can provide the certified operator for the applications, for the databases, and for the middleware. Then we also, when this OpenShift also support the large scale operations, we already talked about that. When we have this comparison on the platform wise, you can see it's almost same. OKD and OpenShift is doing the same step, except the one line you can see here is a enterprise operating system, because OKD we will be using the Fedora CoreOS. For the enterprise Red Hat OpenShift, we will be using Red Hat Enterprise Linux CoreOS. Other than that, you can see all are good. So you have functionalities like self-service provisioning, service discovery, monitoring, log aggregation, everything available on both platforms. That's good. So we have this comparison for experience and support. It's a user experience. So comparing this OKD and OpenShift, right? So the left side table, you can see we have something missing in the OKD part. So first one, I was talking about the certified or validated third-party Kubernetes operators. So OKD, we have to use the operators from the operator hub, but in OpenShift, the certified or validated operators are already available for database, middleware, and so on. So that's the main difference. And the final one is the support level. Of course, this is a normal for everything. Even we put the Kubernetes as another column. We know we don't have any support. It's all community-based support. Then we know the life cycle, because it's all the open source projects are moving very fast. Because every time when there is a new version or new feature, I don't think the enterprise will be able to adopt it without an enterprise support. So whatever available in the market, let's say there is a new feature available for Kubernetes, until I get a supported tick, like we call it like under support, or we call it general availability, we won't be able to use that for the enterprises. Okay, so these are the main difference between OpenShift and the OKD. So these are some of the references. So basically, I just want to share this slide, but I'm open for any feedback. So if you think, okay, this is something we missed or something we want to discuss more, yeah, please let me know. So basically, you can check all these differences, and it's up to the enterprises to decide, okay, whether to go with Kubernetes or I'm okay with the OKD. And because we know many people running the open source projects as it is, without worrying about the support, without worrying about the patching, without worrying about other long-term support. So it's up to the organization, it's up to the team, whether they are confident enough to use the Kubernetes, OKD, or OpenShift. Okay. Yeah, that's it for, I mean, the quick one. I think it was very quick. Yeah. If you have any questions, yeah, please let me know. Or if you want to discuss some slides more in detail, yeah, I'm open for that one. Yeah.
If you got any question, please feel free to unmute and ask, or even you can ask in chat. Looks like we are good. Gineesh?
Okay, great.
So thanks a lot, Gineesh, for an awesome talk on OpenShift OKD and how it differs from Kubernetes, because it's a confusion for many. So thanks for clearing it out. And also thanks for joining us from a different time zone and delivering the talk. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for the opportunity anyway. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone.